What's up guys, Larry here from ColoradoGearGuide.com, and today we're going to have a super fast conversation about the Gerber Fast Draw Fine Edge Pocket Knife. What I want to do is a quick video about this piece of gear where I give you the statistics straight from GerberGear.com, and then I'm going to give you my impressions based on about 8 to 10 days of everyday carry. I don't like to do unboxing videos or first impressions or anything like that. I like to have a formulated opinion based on my experience, so that's what I'm going to give you today. Let's go ahead and jump right in here. Overall length when this knife is open is 7.13 inches with a blade length of 2.99 inches. Closed, this knife is 4.17 inches and weighs in at about 3.6 ounces. Now the blade style is a drop point, as you can see here, and the blade is made of high carbon stainless steel with a handle made out of glass filled nylon, and as you can see, it is an assisted opening blade. Doesn't take much effort there. So again, that information comes straight from GerberGear.com. If you want to go check it out yourself, it'll be there. Now that you've got the stats on this knife, I want to go ahead and give you my impressions of it after a week of everyday carry, or more like 8 to 10 days, as I said earlier. So first, I'll start with the things I do like. The first thing I like about this knife is the weight. As we discussed, it comes in at about 3.6 ounces, so it's nice and easy to carry. Barely noticed it in my pocket. It does have a pretty narrow profile, so for that, I really like this knife. I also really like the speed. So far, it was really reliable. It never seemed to slow down, and I did like how quickly this knife opened with very little effort. I barely have to put any pressure on that thumb stud and it swings right open. So the speed and the weight, also the profile, those are the main things that I liked about this knife. Now unfortunately there are a lot more things that I did not like about this knife, so let's go over those things now. The first thing is the feel of it. For some reason I just have a feeling that this knife isn't made very well. I haven't taken it apart, I haven't looked at the components on the inside, I don't know what the spring's made of, but I will tell you that my gut feeling is that this knife just feels cheap. I have a feeling something's going to go wrong with it, and I don't know why. I could be wrong about that. Maybe in 6 months time, if I pull this back out and carry it for longer, I'll do an update video. I don't mind eating crow when I have to, but for now my gut feeling is that it's just not that durable. I wouldn't be comfortable taking this on an extended backcountry trip where I know I'm going to put a knife through some wear and tear. So that's the first thing, the feel of it. Next, the statistical things that I know are factual. First of all, the belt clip is stationary. You don't have an option to move it to either side of the knife or to the top or the bottom of the knife. I'm not a huge fan of that. I like to have the option when I want to move it around. I will say that the length of the belt clip in relativity to the knife is something that I did like. Again, I barely felt it in my pocket. It was easy to get in and out. It's got that paddle down at the bottom, which makes it easier to slide it right into the pocket of my jeans. And I carry my E.D.C knife in the front right pocket of my pants. So it was easy for me to use. But again, I wish I had the opportunity to move that belt clip wherever I felt like it. The next thing is the sound. I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't sound right to me. Other knives that I carry just don't have that clicking sound. They don't have that kind of raspy spring sound, and for some reason I just wasn't a fan of it. Full disclosure, this is my first Gerber pocket knife, so I don't have a whole lot of experience with them, but I've got a lot of SOGs, Kershaws, Spydercos, and Benchmade knives, and this just doesn't really do it for me. That sound is something that just gets to me for some reason. Again, another gut feeling. I don't know why that sound is made. Again, I haven't taken it apart and looked at it, but I just kind of don't like it. Next thing is the price. This thing right now, MSRP is $49.70. I was able to pick it up on Amazon for about $28.50. For that price, although it is relatively cheap, I think that you can get other knives that are better quality, durability, and reputation than this knife for the same price or cheaper. So the price is something that turns me off just a little bit. I know there are some great Kershaws out there that you can get for $20 to $25. And if you haven't noticed from my mention of Kershaw, I'm a big fan of Kershaw. And again, this is my first Gerber knife, so I can't say that I have a whole lot of expert knowledge on it, but compared to the other knives I carry, so far just not a fan. The next thing is, again, this is probably a Kershaw thing, but there's no top finger paddle up here. You have to open it with the thumb stud, which is fine. I have a lot of other knives like that, but if I'm being picky, I would like to see that there on an assisted opening blade. It just gives you the option to open with the thumb or with the finger on the top. So no top finger paddle. And then last but certainly not least, and this is just for me, I have a hard time closing this knife with one hand. I've got some short sausage fingers, so I have to close this with two hands, or I have to put it up against something like my leg to close it. I like the style of knife that has the closure on the inside of the frame here, and with this it's got the release mechanism out on the side of the knife, just like some of the SOGs do. But for some reason, where it's placed and how far the reach is up to the blade where you can close it, I just find it a little bit challenging to close with one hand. Some guys might not find that, but for me, I do. Now, one more thing, as far as the locking mechanism is concerned for the blade, I do like that for locking and unlocking, but you do have to engage that mechanism in order to close it. And again, just where the location is, I don't like it. That's just me. You guys might want to check it out for yourself. This is the Gerber Fast Draw Fine Edge Pocket Knife. It does come in a half serrated version if you guys want to check that out. Some of you might like it more than me. I prefer other knives. I'm happy to have it in my collection though. I'll bust it out from time to time, maybe carry it around for a few days, see if my opinion changes. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and give this an overall neutral rating and say that for your money, you could find a little bit of a better knife out there. Thanks for watching today, guys. For this video and more, check out ColoradoGearGuy.com.